On the first weekend in October, the International Police Tournament took place here in Ireland, in Dublin in fact, with the Garda joined by their colleagues from the PSNI, the New York Police Department and the London Metropolitan Police. It was a highly entertaining and indeed very competitive weekend, with the semi-finals played at Crork Park and the final played at the excellent facility at Westmanstown. In the semi-finals, the PSNI beat the NYPD and the Garda proved too strong for the London Metropolitan Police, who were playing at Crork Park for the very first time. In the third versus fourth playoff, it was the London Metropolitan Police causing history by beating the NYPD, their first ever victory in the tournament, while in the final, the Garda proved too strong for the PSNI to win the MULLIGAN Cup. All four policing organisations were delighted with the events of the weekend, both on and off the pitch.
It was a great honour. It was a great, occasion here. It was great to get Crork Park because we've played this tournament before and it was in Westmanstown, which is our own home club, but to get the home of Gaelic football is unbelievable. Plenty of Donegal men represented. I actually got to play here before with the Donegal Miners in '96. We made All-Ireland semi-final back then, but we lost out on that occasion.
The highlights, I suppose, for ourselves were two great games. A great game yesterday in Crork Park, which we won, and Crork Park obviously is a highlight as well. And today now we gave a good account of ourselves, although, as I say, we didn't make it across the finishing line. It's a great opportunity for fostering inter-police relationships, and we've had a number of these tournaments now, and it just builds every time. And you meet old friends, you meet new friends, and you've the opportunity. It's sports central to it, but you've the opportunity to talk about policing innovations and things like that as well, and that's very important to us.
We just played in Crork Park for the first time in our existence, and it's been a fantastic occasion for us. I think it's very important for the heritage. You could be walking down the street in Times Square and I'll be wearing my Donegal jersey, very proud man, and you could be in Australia and somebody's wearing a Mayo jersey, just as proud. Keeping the heritage alive is being Irish is very important to our club. That's why through the Gaelic Games we're able to do that. I actually was able to play there with three of my brothers, Paul, Kevin and Emmett, and they came up to help us a little bit as guests. And going out there, the last time I was there was over a year ago when I was in the Hogan stand to watch Donegal win the championship, and to get back there and actually play was just an incredible experience, and hopefully I'll be back there next year in the Hogan stand watching Donegal win it again in the final.
Historic occasion, there's a lot of history involved in this whole tournament, and the Met have been involved for the last 8 years now, and there's been history every step of the way, and this is just the latest history, and it's fabulous, absolutely fantastic. The guys had a great time, loved being there, and actually loved the experience of being out in Crork Park. This tournament's been going for 8 years now, and I think the relationships, the friendships that have been developed over those years is absolutely fantastic. And the guys, both from a policing point of view and just from a friendship point of view, have made some really good contacts. We play every 2 years, but in between that there's friendships, there's contacts, there's phone calls, there's emails, there's meetings. A lot of stuff goes on. Going back a few years ago when we had the ash cloud, we got phone calls from our colleagues in the NYPD about some of their colleagues who were stuck over in London. So we went along and looked after them. So, those kind of things are fairly norm now. We always look after each other, we take care, and it's a fantastic friendship and relationship between all of us.
The opening of Crork Park to other sports was led by Kerryman Sean Kelly during his time as president of Cumann Gael. Sean was also delighted to be able to use his influence to have Crork Park opened for this tournament for the very first time in its history.
We had just removed the ban on members of the police and of the army being able to join the GAA, but it was removed only in theory. In practice, they couldn't get games, so we had to work on it. They came to me as president, and I went to the Ulster Council, and the Ulster Council, in fairness, were very, very supportive, and through that we got it going, and they have now gone from strength to strength, and I think they're now ready to take it to another level. But my God, what sacrifices they have made just to be able to play the GAA, and I think it's very important that all GAA members would realise that these are as committed to playing football and hurling as anybody else all over the country or around the world at this point in time as well.
Also in attendance over the weekend was the Garda Commissioner Martin CALLINAN.
In the best traditions of the GAA, the police will always give of their best, and I suppose they didn't let the side down, so to speak. So it was wonderful to see it. I spoke a little earlier on about the Irish diaspora and what it means, with so many people now having to go to far off places to eke out a living and support their families. So it's a really wonderful opportunity for all of us to get together, and that sense of belonging and welcome that the GAA represents. And I'm sure that our forefathers, all 7 of them down in Thurles, couldn't have imagined how the GAA would turn out. And thankfully, I think law enforcement, north, south, east and west, are doing their part to support the vision that they had, law enforcement being part of the community and serving the community and supporting one another.
Charlie Collins, Donegal TV at Westmanstown.